Are you one of the 75% of contractors whose financial statements are inaccurate? Find out. Click on the link in the show notes and you'll get a free P&L and balance sheet check.
This is Contractor Sense with Ruth King.
Welcome to Contractor Sense. Here you discover ideas, tactics, news, and information that matters to your contracting business and you. I'm your host, Ruth King. This episode is sponsored by Financially Fit Business. Get the business tool that makes your financial statements come alive. Turn your numbers into pretty graphs so you really know where your business is trending. Go to www.financiallyfit.business and get started today. Thank you for joining us. Here is how we will help your business and you. Are you looking at your business as an income source or an asset? Hopefully you said an asset. And what if you could identify and predictably reduce taxes? Sound impossible? My guest today, Justin D. Maxwell, will tell you how to make this a reality. Justin is a partner at Big Life Financial who transforms high-performing business owners into true owner investors, guiding them to integrate taxes, investing, protection, and exit planning for generational impact. Justin, welcome to Contractor Sense.
Thank you, Ruth. Excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. So what's Big Life Financial?
Big Life Financial is the term that we utilize and call ourselves is we're a fractional family office, which is, for those, most people have no idea what that means, but a family office is just a group of financial professionals that are all working together for the benefit of the family or the business owner. And the reason we're fractional is that most family offices don't really truly appear until the family has a net worth of over 100 plus million. And for most business owners, that's just completely out of reach. But it was what we wanted to provide for the business owner that is working extremely hard to generate massive amounts of money and revenue in their business was a one-stop shop where everyone's on the same page. The accounting, the wealth management, the insurance, the business itself, the legal, all rowing in the same direction for the business owner that's in alignment with where they want to go.
Got it. So you're doing it for the non-Rockefellers of the world.
Correct. Yep. Very, very well said.
So cool. All right. So you and I, when we first started talking about it, is really switching the mindset of an owner from business as an income source income source to one of an asset. Can you take us through that change in philosophy?
Yeah. I think that this kind of stems back from when business owners first started. Most business owners start their business because they don't want to be a W-2 employee or they maybe had a family business, but they just feel like they're unemployable elsewhere. And so they're starting their business for freedom, but then what happens is they discover very quickly that the business actually is, you have to work harder, if not more than a W-2. Now, the upside is you make a lot of money or income from the business once you get it rolling and you get your systems in place and you work with people like yourself, Ruth, to get the numbers dialed in. But they're still having to work for the income. So they're still exchanging their time for money, just like they would if they went to if they were a W-2 employee, you exchange your time for money. That's the same thing for the vast majority of business owners fit that criteria. If you don't show up, if you don't go in, if you're not on the job site, if you're not doing the work, then you're not getting paid. So the shift that needs to occur is you need to stop viewing your business as just an income source and start viewing it as an asset. And when you make that shift, it's a mindset shift first. You actually start to find ways to get yourself out of the business because you start viewing it just like the example I give is just like a rental property where you don't want to have to be the person that shows up for all the leaky toilets. You put in management teams, you put in things, and you're looking to get passive income out of it. And that's the shift that I believe a lot of business owners can benefit from when it comes to their business and viewing it through that lens instead of just an income source.
Yeah, when you start thinking about, okay, I want passive income out of my business and I want to show up, once a quarter and get my check.
Right, correct. And sometimes business owners with where they are now, they will view that and think like that just is not, there's no way that's possible. Like if I don't show up, I don't get paid at all. So it starts to view it like it's a pipe dream. But it really, it's not as outlandish or far-fetched as people might believe. The way I like to have people do it is if you want that, you can reverse engineer things, looking at the numbers, looking at your systems, looking at what has to happen. And if what you're currently doing isn't going to produce that result, it tells you that you need to change your behaviors and do different things, because there are a lot of business owners out there that can have and made that shift and do show up once a quarter, and they're viewing it from the investor level where they're on the board and they're just running an investment instead of running a business.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people who have sold out and retain a piece of the business, so to speak, in the new business are actually doing that. They're like on the board. They're not running the business on a day-to-day basis. There's somebody in there running on a day-to-day basis, and they're getting their checks, once a week, not once a week, but, once a month, once a quarter, whatever else it is. And it really and truly can work like that.
It 100% can, and that's why I think this is the mindset shift first, is you have to believe and know that it is possible, and then once you believe it and know it, you'll find the ways to make it happen, and every business owner is super intuitive. They're very creative. The reason they're so successful already is because they've been able to grind through things and solve problems and figure things out. This is just a problem that will help them get out of the business, but it starts with the mindset.
Yeah. So the other thing I think that they have to do is realize they can't micromanage.
100%. You have to be able to lead people without micromanaging them. And there's a framework that we utilize that can help with this that I think can be helpful for the audience. And we call it the 5 keys. And it just starts with the business owner knowing the vision and knowing where they're going, and then declaring that vision to everyone involved. So everyone knows where the business is going. Everyone could articulate, this is what we're building. This is why we're building it. This is the direction we're going. And I think when you get everyone on the same page on that first key, it's the first hurdle, because oftentimes most business owners struggle. Like if you asked all their employees, like, what does this business stand for? Where is it going? What is it trying to create? What is it trying to solve? You'd get a different answer from every person. And that usually results in a lot of dysfunction, because the business owner now has to they're forced to micromanage, because not everyone knows what's supposed to be done or where it's going. So the first key is vision. The second key is, once you have the vision, the priorities that you can now ask. The question is, what are the priorities that are going to help us reach that vision in the time that are allotted? And you can choose 3 to 5 priorities that will help you get there. So now you're narrowing the focus, and then you're allowing the team leaders to go execute those priorities. And then the third key is once you have the priorities, you have to determine, what does good look like? And then you define it, and then you let people actually live up to what good looks like. And you have a monitoring system, but you don't have to be micromanaging them. You can have reports on, what does good look like for a contractor in this situation, or a subcontractor, or what does it good look like for a front office person or a salesperson? And it's defined. And if they're not hitting those numbers, you can have conversations. But if they are, then you know that you're on track to hit your priorities, which then are on track to hit your vision. And then key 4 that we like is, if you're asking your team, are we 90% confident that if we do what good looks like in the time frame we've allotted, that we're going to hit our vision? And if people say no, let them voice their concerns as to why. Maybe they need more funding, or they need more time, or they need more team members. It allows you to get a good insight there, but it allows you also to give them ownership. And then lastly, I think the last key to being a leader and not micromanaging is being able to let your team know what's in it for them. Like, what happens when we reach our vision? What do you get when we win? And what's the upside for you as this happens? So is it rewards? Is it equity? Is it time off? Like whatever it needs to be, your people need to know how they win with you. And I think those 5 keys can help people not micromanage.
Cool. So before we take a break, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Yeah, the easiest way is I'm very, very active on LinkedIn. So if you just searched Justin D. Maxwell, and you can send me a DM and follow me, and we can have a good conversation there. That's the easiest way I've found for people to get in touch with me.
Very good. We'll be right back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense.
Imagine you had total freedom. You didn't have to worry about money. You didn't have to be a slave to your business. The words, "I can't," are eliminated from your vocabulary. What if you could do what you want to do, whenever you want to do it? A financially fit business could give you that freedom. How? by knowing what your financial statements are telling you and taking action based on what they say. You can do this in less than 10 minutes a month at an investment of less than taking your family out to dinner once a month. And if your financial statements are a mess, you can get help. Go to www.financiallyfit.business or click on the QR code below to get started today.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense. I am speaking with Justin D. Maxwell, and Justin is a partner at Big Life Financial. And before the break, we were talking about making your business an asset rather than an income source. So let's assume we've done that. Let's assume that we now are looking at our business as an asset, as you gave the analogy to a piece of rental property where you don't have to be there doing the leaks and all that sort of fun stuff, but you collect your money every single month in terms of rents and things like that. So let's assume we've done that. We now have an asset rather than an income source. Income source. What comes next?
Yeah, so the next piece is, now that you're viewing it as an asset, now you need to start treating it like an asset. So you're looking at, like, what is its valuation? How much work? How expensive is this? And how, if someone's going to buy this from me, what would they pay me for it? And you're monitoring that side of it versus just the day-to-day. So you're looking at, what can I do to increase the valuation? Is there a disruption coming ahead? Should I plan for an exit quickly? You know the number that you would take if anyone ever approached you and asked you to sell it. You know exactly what it's worth and what you would take as the walkaway number. So you've started to know those things. Those are key indicators. But once you're viewing it through that lens, it's also like, if I know the valuation, I can cut costs. And one of the easiest ways to cut costs in an asset is to reduce your taxable allotment on that asset. So when you're viewing your business as an asset, you now are also viewing it on, how can I reduce the cost of expenses? And an easy one for a lot of business owners is taxes. So taxes becomes a natural flow from, my business is an asset, I want to increase its valuation, I want to help it have its highest potential. So I'm going to reduce its cost by reducing the amount of taxes that I pay from the income that business produces.
So I assume that tax strategy is also part of this.
Yes, correct. It becomes almost a necessity. If you're going to maximize its potential and maximize its value, you're also simultaneously going to tax plan, because you view them as one and the same. It's not that tax planning is separate and distinct. It's a part of my ability to increase its valuation and control and manage the asset, because we do have control over how much we pay in taxes at some level. Like there's going to be a minimum that we're going to have to pay, but many business owners overpay unnecessarily because they don't view it that way, and they view taxes as a burden, and they view it as something that's separate and distinct to the business. And this mindset is making it a part of increasing the value of the business.
Yeah. So if we decrease taxes, we increase the value. That's the math that makes sense.
Correct. Yes. It's basically as simple as what you just said. It's reduce the taxes, you'll have more cash flow, which then makes your business more profitable and more valuable.
More valuable. May not necessarily.
Yeah,
be
maybe
more
not necessarily profitable, but more valuable.
More valuable. All right. So that's there. And then we have the protection piece, right? Which I assume is all insurance.
Yeah. So the protection piece is going to be twofold. It's going to be pairing legal protection, like entity structuring, because oftentimes business owners will, having more than one entity can oftentimes alleviate and add protection to what you're building, so that people can't get to all the assets. So maybe it's looking at how many entities we have and making sure we have management companies in place or holding companies, so that not all of our IP or intellectual property is in one spot. So that's a way that we can protect. But it also is, like you mentioned, like making sure that we're properly insured, making sure that we have key man insurance, making sure that we have disability insurance and things of those natures, because the data says about 50% of business owners are going to experience one of the 5 Ds before they sell their company. And the 5 Ds are death, disability, divorce, disruption, and disagreement. And so if one of those 5 Ds happens and you're not ready to sell, or like you haven't put in protections in place, that could destroy everything you built in your business. So everything we're trying to protect is, how can we alleviate the 5Ds from destroying everything. Now, it's likely the 5Ds will put a chunk in, but the problem with a lot of people is it destroys everything that they built. And we want to put protections, legal, insurance, estate planning in place so that those 5Ds don't destroy the wealth that we built through our business.
Yeah. So yeah, those 5Ds are pretty bad.
Yeah, I had the divorce one. I can share a story. We have a client, unfortunately, that suffered a divorce. She had a $25 million net worth, and by the end of it, she's going to walk away with about a $4 million net worth for herself after the whole divorce proceedings, because it got fairly ugly. The business fell apart. It was not pleasant, and so we didn't meet her. We just barely met her. It was all this is retroactive to us, but those types of things happen, and they're very real.
Yeah. I mean, I had a colleague of mine who thankfully was well insured, but one of her employees who was laid off, stole a truck and went into a tunnel and was drunk or on drugs or whatever it was and killed somebody.
No, my goodness.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Please, 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 please have enough insurance.
Yeah.
You never
and
know when you're going to need it.
You never know you're going to need it. Business owners hate it because it truly is an expense in most situations, but it saves your bacon when those types of situations that you had no control over, at least very, very little control over, happen.
Now he stole the truck
Yeah.
and they went after her.
Yeah.
Crazy. But anyway, okay. Final thoughts.
Yeah, my final thought is that oftentimes when people start hearing this stuff, they're like, "Ah, that just seems like I'm not quite there yet. Like maybe someday I can start organizing this and start putting together my own family office." But I have found that if you have big aspiration and you want big things, you can't go at it alone. You have to get a team on board with you, and you have to be the leader of that team, and you have to create it before you get there. So though you might not have all of the pieces in place, you know what you want, and you're going to start to get the collaboration between your accounting and your insurance and your attorneys and your wealth management so that they all start to flow together with you at the helm. You choosing to do that, whether you're someone that's only bringing in $500,000 of revenue or whether you're someone that's bringing in 10 million, you choosing to do that is the step you need to take to actually get to the spot where you actually could start to afford and start to have these types of situations happen. So making the choice before you get there is the decision that I recommend people making.
Justin, thank you so much. And to get in contact with Justin, it's Justin D. Maxwell on LinkedIn. So thanks for being with us, Justin.
Thank you, Ruth. Appreciate it.
And thanks to all of you for joining us. Choose one thing you discovered and implement it in your business. These ideas, tactics, and strategies help you make more money, have more free time, and give back. If you like today's program, spread the word. Please review this podcast on any device you're listening to it on. Help a fellow contractor make more money too. For comments or questions, call me at 770-729-0258 or email ruthking@hvacchannel.tv. Thanks for listening. Have a great and profitable day.